few ways that covert narcissistic individuals tell on themselves. Now, like all narcissists, they have a great difficulty in admitting fault, in admitting any mistakes, any wrongdoings. They don't believe that they were the problem. They pass the blame on to somebody else. They rewrite it in their own head as to why somebody else deserved their mistreatment. However, narcissistic individuals, covert or overt, do tell on themselves. Overt do so in more direct ways. Covert is more subtle, indirect ways. And overt narcissistic individuals can use covert methods. So one of the first ways that a covert narcissist will tell on themselves is by blaming all others, blaming external factors. It's never their fault. It's always somebody else's fault. If you'd have paid them more attention, if their apprentice at work had have listened to them, they wouldn't be in the mess that they're in. They're seeking that sympathetic attention in the manner that they tell on themselves, while making out that it was somebody else's problem, somebody else's fault, and never theirs. They will downplay any form of responsibility. It wasn't them. It wasn't that bad. They will feign ignorance. They will pretend to know nothing about the situation. It was absolutely nothing to do with them. They're going to downplay any part that they played in the situation while blaming somebody else for the problem. They will use humour. So they will go all out to hurt you in some of the most horrific ways, and then they will turn around and claim that, well, you know what I'm like, I'm only joking, you know I'm sarcastic. Now, you can meet sarcastic people who will take the mickey out of themselves, and you can meet sarcastic people who will take the mickey out of other people without meaning to hurt the other person. And then you can meet sarcastic people who are looking to humiliate the other person while maintaining their own image of perfection. They will shift the focus. They will talk about what someone else has done, which is exactly what they have done to somebody or to you. They will project, they will pass their mistakes, their faults, their feelings, their wrongdoings onto you. If they're feeling jealous, they're going to go all out to provoke jealousy within you and then accuse you of being the jealous one. Narcissistic people can make fun of themselves in a manner where they are looking for you to pick them up, to raise them up. They can sit there in the woe is me state of, oh, if only I hadn't have done this, so that you sympathise with them, so that you want to help them. So it seems like a genuine person who's recognised the error of their ways and is looking to change. Only as soon as you give them another chance, they change back into that negative person who goes all out to hurt you. They will use those passive aggressive remarks. When they've done something and you call them out on it, they'll just go, it's fine. What's your problem? Whatever. Everybody else does it. If you say so, you always have to blame me, don't you? Oh, I knew it would be my fault. It's always my fault. Because it is their fault. It might not always be their fault because we can all make our mistakes. But when something is their fault and you go to confront them about this and they turn around and say, you always blame me, it's always my fault, that's because that particular circumstance is their fault. But they're looking to make you feel bad for daring to call them out. They'll give that backhanded apology. I'm sorry you feel that way. So they're kind of admitting what they've done. They're not genuinely remorseful. They're just looking to get away with their behaviour. And once they've said that, well, what more do you want? I've said I'm sorry. What's your problem? And then they revert back to who they are because they don't want to repair the damage, and they will repeat the mistakes that hurt those around them. And they feign that vulnerability, the woe is me again, where they're using that passive aggressive behaviour. They're going to play the victim in the situation, and everything they are accusing other people of doing to them, more often than not, is what they did to the other people. You will often find the stories that a victim of a narcissistic person tells and the exaggeration and lies that a narcissistic person tells are very, very similar. However, the narcissist goes all out blaming everybody else. The victim questions themselves, questions what they could have done better, wonders whether it was actually that bad, whether they are overreacting to the situation, often due to the gaslighting the narcissist has put them through. Narcissistic people, if you listen closely enough, they do tell on themselves.